Well, it's deadline day in Wales, but are we going to face more director of football transfer torture? We'll find out in a moment. It's certainly not been torture on the pitch. The performances are getting better. But is that going to be enough? Because if we don't get a squad today, it's going to be very, very difficult. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 17 of the Head Coach with me, Daniel. We are back today for deadline day in Wales, as well as a big game with Aberystwyth, one of the sides that refused to give us an interview in the summer. But so far, so good. The director of football, whilst not successful, has been trying to get in some really good players. Another lone one has rejected us. And our performances, well, they've been very similar to the first day of the season. The only difference is we've not made the defensive errors and we've been ruthless in front of goal. So it's our best start to a season by miles in his career so far, though I know a disaster is only ever one game away with Airbus. So if you're looking forward to finding out what happens today, whether there's new additions into the club and whether we can get another victory, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe for daily FM23 content. We've got more to come from our Builder Nation tomorrow morning. We reached the end of the second season in that one. And I also chose to torture myself over on my food channel. You can find that one up in the eye above, where we're trying some gruesome food stuff over there. But thank you very much for coming along as always. I do appreciate the support. Now let's go and talk about deadline day, because in previous editions this has been torture for us, whether it be 5 left backs as we said in the intro, or absolutely nothing that we had in the last 2 windows. It won't be as torturous as the food I've tried today, but it might yet still be bad. It's 8 o'clock on Sunday the 1st of September, a very strange day to have deadline day, but there are 16 hours to go. There is no one else in and there's no one else out so far. Abdul Malik, as you can see here in the transfer centre, was the latest player to turn a loan down from us. He's gone to a newly promoted club in the National League North and South. And to be fair, he would have improved us, but he was a defender with poor positioning, which I never like. In the transfer history, no first teamers have left, but Owen Roberts, who featured a little bit in the first year from our under-18s, he's now gone and will play for Llandudno, who of course got relegated last year. So 16 hours for the director of football to add someone. It's the only frustration. The players he's added are great, but there's only been 2 all summer. If he can get me 1 or 2 decent ones today, I consider it a good window. Let's see if he can. Oh, Liam, you just let me down every time. You've gone back to what you've done the last 2 deadline days. After talking you up this summer, after giving you sympathy for losing out on stars, you've done nothing. And all I was watching every time we pressed continue was on the ticker. This player signs for this Welsh Cup. This player does the same. And in fact, if we go to the roundup, how many players were signed on deadline day? That can't be deadline day itself, 79 deals, but there were plenty on the day. Let's go and have a look at the transfers in total and see if we can find over the course of the summer when all the deals were done. So on deadline day, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11 deals. One of them was Alaric Jones, who'd been top of our scout reports for at least 18 months. TNS bringing in good players on loan from England, Jacob Slater from Preston and Jared Horlock from Blackburn Rovers, and other clubs all improving. It's a frustrating time for us. This is not what we wanted. It's not to the start of the season we were hoping for, but we are doing all right on the pitch, and maybe that's masking it at the minute. Adam Davis, the top scorer in the League 1 Player of the Month. We've got 7 points out of 9. So to be honest, we'll now play a double-header against Aberystwyth and a cup game too. And if we can get another win in the league, then I can't complain. Let's think of the positives. In a couple of months' time, we'll have 2 coaching badges in the bank. We'll also have the chance to go and get jobs as clubs start to panic. And if we're at this place in the table and we're overachieving, then surely we're going to be more attractive. You have to hope. Fitness test time ahead of our 4th game of the league season. A season in which we've played really well in every game. Let me show you the 2 off camera just so you can see the performances and the results. Of course we drew that first league game 2-2, but we had 25 shots. We were utterly dominant. And the big problem was that Matthew Baker, the new centre-half, was nervy on his debut and made a mistake. Not the case in the next 2 games. Flint Town, you'll remember, were predicted to finish bottom by the media, which I questioned in the last episode. But in fairness, I really saw why when we played them. A 5-0 victory, hat-trick for Adam Jenkins, 1 each for Jenkins and Nichols. I mean, they were awful, a shadow of the side we've played in previous years. And in a good 2-0 win at home to Newtown, Parry and Davis with early goals, and a really comfortable display. You can see the ratings of the defence since. They've been so much better the last couple of games. And in fact, bar the hat-trick hero Davis against Flint Town, Matthew Baker was the best player on the pitch. So much better signs going forward now. Let's go and get into this game. Aberystwyth, a side that rejected us for a job in the summer. Now what are they going to do against us here? Can we shock them? Can we get on a good run? I'd love to. Even if for a moment we were top of the league, it would be spectacular by the standards of this save. The starting 11 is going to be absolutely no different. We know what our best team is when everyone's fit. There's not a lot of quality aside from that. But overall, we look very good at the minute. So the 11 in full is Bradley Borge in goal. Masrani and Owen the fullbacks with Parry and Baker centre half. Chris Baker in the holding role. Jenkins and Granell in front, with Craig Davis behind Adam Davis and Ethan Morgan. Into the first game post-transfer window, and it shouldn't be any different because we didn't lose anyone and we didn't sign anyone on deadline day. So let's see if we can keep the form up. Still some very good players in the home team. You've got Noah Edwards, who was part of that transfer saga for us last January on deadline day. Jordan Davis, Charlie Edge, a former Kefin Druids hero for us. Nathan Pete, Marengi, all very good players. Much better than we've got. Their keeper Jenkins is good too. And they've even got some quality on the bench. So, and more experience for sure. Let's go and get through the dressing room. Let's ask the lads to pick up where they left off. They've been brilliant in every game so far. In one of them, we saw some defensive errors. But aside from that, we look relentless. So early doors is Aberystwyth on the front foot, and we do have to say, according to the pre-season expectation, they are the best team we've played so far. Flint Town were expected to finish bottom. The side we played in the last episode were expected to finish second bottom, and Newtown, one of the few other sides, expected to be below us. So maybe this early goal against is what we expected, because we've only played 3 sides expected to be in the bottom 4, and maybe I've got a little ahead of myself because this is a first good opposition and we're struggling to create anything. And Aberystwyth, another set piece here to the back post, headed just over. Yeah, maybe we're going to get a reality check. We've got some tough games coming up the next month or two and I think we might get found out. Let's go and have a look at the league table on this side actually. Just get it up for comparison. So Newtown, 4 points from 4 games. That includes this one. Flint Town, 1 point, which is their current draw against TNS. So we haven't played sides that have been doing well. And maybe I just got a little bit blinkered, not seeing the level of opposition. Albeit if we beat them comfortably, we'll finish 9th or 8th, it'll be fine. But yeah, we haven't been good. We're disappointed with that. We've got most of them inspired. Now where's the big reaction? Let's go and see it. Well, 5 gone in the second half, and this free kick is in a very precarious position. We know what happens from here so often. Thomas curls it. Hits the wall. Masrani blocks it. I don't think I've seen that animation all year. It's out for a corner kick though, an in-swinger. And Charlie Edge, the set-piece master, will take it. To the back post he goes. Davis up, heads just over. It stays 1-0. We're not even in this game. We've got to find a solution. There's a corner kick for Aberystwyth again. Edge to the front post. Parry heads away, only as far as Kelly. He picks it up on the left wing for them. Tries to take on Granell, but he's forced backwards all the way to his keeper. Good pressing that was. Lee Jenkins will take it. We could really do with a defensive error from them now. Just give us a route back into it. That is classy time wasting, I'll give him that. Long downfield, Baker away. Davis holds up for Craig Davis, but the through ball's not good enough and Pete intercepts. He finds Kelly at left back. Support down the line for him. Charlie Edge is there. Back inside to Kelly. Really confident in possession of the host, and the switch of play finds Jordan Davis. He carries it down the right. Taking on Bailey Owen. It's back to Davis. Into Thomas. Thomas to Davis. Davis to Thomas. That's all we're seeing in this game. Until Marengi gets in to make it 2. It's a good Aberystwyth side. And they're proving it. That was a lovely goal. Really good football. And it's 2-0 down. We're playing our first good side of the season. And we're having our first defeat. And now we've got an injury. This is where all the problems start. I knew it was going too well. Dion Nichols will be on for Granell. We'll take Morgan off for pay relayed. To be honest, there are only 2 really decent replacements on the bench. The rest of it is a bit of a step down. So I'll leave it 10 more. We'll try and come back into it. We're just over 15 to go. It's not been a good performance, let's be honest. We're going to take off... Who? I don't know. It's a good question. Josh Dawson will come on for Craig Davis. We'll bring on Daniel Jones for Jenkins and push Baker into centre mid. and we'll also take off Bailey Owen for Kean Jones. We've got a cup game in a few days' time. I don't really want to risk injuries. We've already had one. So let's just go and get back into it. 15 minutes to go, 2-0 down. I think we accept it's our first defeat, but we're only 3 points off the top of the league still, as Kelly throws into edge. This could get worse, but Baker wins it back. Can he keep possession? Finds Jones to Nichols. Long ball forward towards Adam Davis. Payrelade will chase it. Was he onside? I don't know, but the shot straight at the keeper, so it doesn't matter. He was on. The flag didn't go up. That's really disappointing. We've been a little bit toothless today. We've not created much, but we're still in third place. It's still a good performance. And overall, it's not a bad start to the year. What we've got to do now after playing a good opposition there is back up our good results in the cup. I know it's only a game against lower league opposition, but I want to avoid going 2-3-4 without a win. That's when the problem started last year. I'm far from pleased with the result. The lads are motivated. Let's see if they react at the weekend. Well, time to bounce back, theoretically on paper, against lower league opposition in the Welsh Cup. It is a real opportunity for us to progress to the next round and start to make some money. Ely Rangers not in the north or south, so the third tier or lower. Let's go and get into this. Let's pick our team. It's only been 3 days since our last game, so we'll have to rotate a bit. And let's see who their star man is. Andrew Heath, we've got to close down. He's not as good as our players, as bad as ours are. So let's go and pick our 11. Back in a minute to run through it. 14 tickets sold, a few tired players. There's going to be a bit of rotation here. Well, of course, the rotation we can offer is pretty limited, isn't it? Because we've only got 18 players. But we've gone into the youth team for a couple of bench players. And the rest of it, I think, is as strong as we can be. We're going to have to gamble the fitness on Baker. But Masrani and Parry both get a rest. As does Davis up front. And Nichols is in for the injured Cronell. He's out for 6 to 7 weeks, which is a bit of a hammer blow. We can't really afford more than 1 or 2 injuries. Otherwise, we actually run out of squad. So with the domestic loan window opening in the next week or so, I'm hoping he'll get to action, Liam, because he did try and make one offer last year. It didn't work out, but we could really do with one this season. So maybe TNS have got some great players for us. Let's have a look at the team though. It's Bradley Borge in goal. Goodwin and Kean Jones are in as fullbacks. We'll change them to traditional fullbacks on defend. We've got Baker and Bailey Owen. At 5'9", it's a risk, but we haven't really got a choice. In midfield, Baker stays in a holding role. We've got Joe Jenkins joined by Dean Nichols. And then Craig Davis, number 10. Payrelade in for Adam Davis up front. And Ethan Morgan alongside him. Let's submit the team. Let's go and get into the game. Fingers crossed, even with a few rotations, we should be winning this game comfortably. Well, the hosts are playing a 4-4-2. They've only got 6 subs, so we're not expecting too much from them. But we have got a young centre-half, Connor Wilson, on the bench in case we're winning comfortably. We can rest Baker. We can then rest the likes of Craig Davis and one of the other midfielders. But for now, through the dressing room, I want to see a much better performance today. That's what I'm going to be saying. Let's get our hands in our pockets. Let's get them inspired. Now let's get a reaction. On the pitch we go. We got a bit more natural width with the traditional fullbacks. So let's see how we respond. Well, 7 minutes on the clock. We're back for a goal kick. Taken long downfield, but it will be intercepted by Goodwin. No real pressure on him. He can carry it down the right. We've got those 3-pronged attack, which should be good enough in this game, but not with through balls like that from Jenkins. Jones clears long again, the keeper for Ely. Only as far as Matthew Baker. Finally got his first name right that time. Still had to think about it. Long ball forward, Payrelade up. Only as far away as Craig Davis. Nichols into Morgan. Chance to shoot. Scored 2 in the last cup tie. Blazed that one over the bar. He's finding poor form again. He has a lot of goal droughts, the kid. But hopefully he can get one today. Good diving header away from the host. Although that one's back in. And that's poor goalkeeping. Free header for Craig Davis. It didn't have much power on it. But it sneaks in at the near post. We're 1-0 up. There's 12 on the clock. And I hope we can build on that very quickly. Would be nice to be a few up at half time and be able to rotate. Oh, we're going straight from the kickoff. And they're on the attack here. Evans on the right hand side. Back to White, the centre half. Can he find the ball forward? He can't. Chris Baker heads away to Payrelade. All the way back to his keeper. Not sure he needed to do that. But either way, we still keep the ball with Owen. Baker to Nichols. Over towards Morgan. Headed away as far as Davis. Douglas will get there. Over to Little. He's in one-on-one here. Matthew Baker does well though. Clears to Smith. Still more pressure on us defensively than I'd like. Though Ethan Morgan back. Intercepts well. Finds Davis. Has support from Payrelade. Ethan Morgan running off him. As was Joe Jenkins. Jenkins finds him. Morgan back to Jenkins. What was the finish? What was the finish? He didn't even hit it. He just sort of passed it or tapped it. Baffling. It's out for a corner kick. Somehow the keeper didn't hold it. And Nichols gets the corner in. Owen loses out in the air. It was so bad I've lost my voice from it. Craig Davis, edge of the box, shoots. Over the bar. Stays 1-0. That was a very weird passage of play. Back 2 minutes later, and we do largely seem to be camped in their half. If we can get a second, I think we could run riot as Goodwin finds pay relay down the right hand side. Back into Goodwin again, long towards Craig Davis, who's drifted in from number 10 again. Back to Ethan Morgan. And he ends the goal drought. These cup games are very big for him. He's probably not a top level Premier League striker yet. So playing against these lower league teams, great chance to build his confidence. 2-0, should be game over. We'll make our changes at half time if it stays this way. As Jenkins wins it back, how many can we get? Goodwin back to Baker. Long ball forward, headed away by White to the other Baker. How many Bakers are there on the pitch today? Little gets in, it's poor from Matthew Baker. Oh, we've let one in. Why was I getting confident against this lot? Because that is absolutely awful defending. And for as good as Baker's been this year, he's missed a few of those little headers. As Owen gets the ball on the left from a throw. Not sure why he's taking it as a centre-half, but still, Ethan Morgan picks it up, cuts into the box, curls one in. Fabulous effort. The goalkeeper, not really got a spring in his step, has he, the Eli goalkeeper, but it was a lovely curling effort. He went right in the corner. Really good goal. 3-1, the 2-goal lead restored. And back approaching the half an hour mark. End-to-end game this, which is a little bit worrying, but thankfully we're having more of it. Savage with a long ball forward towards Little. Baker does win this header. Craig Davis picks it up for Ethan Morgan. Through towards Payrelade, who's in behind the defence. Should make it 4. Does make it 4. Happy days. Really good response to last week's defeat. And we're going through in the cup. There's no doubt about that now. Well, we're back again just a minute later as Goodwin is giving the ball to Bradley Borge in goal. Plays out to Kean Jones and Nichols. Over the top towards Ethan Morgan, who will get there. There's 3 in the middle. He goes alone though. Shoots for 5-1. We are carving them open at will. And this could be the real confidence boost we need. An awful opponent, a big attack in a performance, and all of the front three have got goals now. Excellent effort. We just got to keep it up. And we're straight back from a goal kick again, just 2 or 3 minutes later. This is going to be double figures, isn't it? As Baker picks the ball up at the back. We'll rest him at half time. Payrelay picks it up though. Gets in, 20 yards out, shoots for 6. It is 6. It is becoming an absolute demolition job here. 6-1, the jigs are out for the goal celebrations. And with 5 to half time, the game is over. We can look at who we want to rest at half time. And we can bring on some of the youngsters as Borge gets it in goal. Takes his time, 45th minute. They've held out for about 10 here, Eli, as it's rolled out to Owen. He goes wide to Kean Jones, the youngster. Chips forward towards Ethan Morgan, who wins it for Nichols. Has support through the middle. Craig Davis makes the run. Rounds the keeper. Taps in for 7. Oh, it's too easy. What dance are you going to go for? No, classic old school celebration. 7-1 Airbus, and at half time, we can make subs. We're going to tell the lads we're happy. The expected goal is only 2, ironically. But Matthew Baker will come off for the youth team centre-half Connor Wilson. Not even got a real star of ability, but he's going to do the job for us now. We're also going to give a rest to either Jenkins or Baker, and probably Craig Davis too. So Davis will come off for Josh Dawson. We'll bring on Daniel Jones for Jenkins. And then we'll leave the rest of the subs till later, because we've got 3 first teamers who aren't really fit. And then a goalkeeper who, to be fair, let's give him a run out as well. Borge off, Wiseman on, 4 subs made. Let's get into it. Well, we've weakened the team and taken out some of the stars, so it has calmed down a bit now. But 10 minutes gone in the second half, and we're back, and the hosts have it on halfway. Burgess goes wide to Smith on the left. Has support, but goes back to Burgess again, and Baker. Long ball over the top. We don't want them scoring a couple here. Could make it tense. It's into the box. It's terrible defending. And it wasn't even Wilson. It was Bailey Owen at fault. Not what we want to see. The experienced players letting us down, making mistakes at the back. But thankfully, it shouldn't cost us anything. This is another long ball forward, which Bailey Owen deals with. Finds Kean Jones the left back. Can we quickly respond and get an 8th? It's Kean Jones again, back to Owen. To Daniel Jones. Long ball forward to Ethan Morgan. 2 in the middle again. Can we get Josh Dawson a goal? That would be nice. Here he is. There's the goal. 8-2. Bonkers game. Well, corner kick for Eli Rangers into the front post. It's headed away. I'm looking at Owen on a booking and thinking I might have to bring Parry on, even though I don't want to. Douglas heads it in, it's 8-3. This is ridiculous. I mean, defensively, there are a lot of concerns out of this. So with about 20 left, I am going to take off Owen, and I am going to bring on Nathan Parry, just to shore things up a bit and give us more of a threat in the air. Well, after that, ironically, the last 20 minutes was pretty boring. It's an 8-3 victory in the Cup. It's a very strange game. Lots of defensive concerns. Going forward, we were brilliant. But we're through to the next round of the Cup. And after that disappointing result at Aberystwyth, after an inactive deadline day yet again, it's great to see some confidence and a response. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. Fingers crossed, we'll still be in decent form. Well, crucially, a bit of money into the bank for the win, more debutants, Wilson and Wiseman among them, and things are looking okay, despite that result against Aberystwyth. And I'll be honest, in my excitement at the start of the year, I hadn't really put 2 and 2 together about the teams we played, realising they were all strugglers. Now we have a tougher run of games. Connors Key, Carnarvon, Barlett, Pennybon. These are the games where we're going to find out how good we are. And then perhaps Cardiff Met Uni, who are flying as well after coming back up. So we are going to come back at some point around there. The end of October. Haverfordwest did really well last year, finished second. So I'll maybe show that as one of 4 away games in a row. And perhaps then one of the other ones around it, depending on how the table sits. But we'll judge it by where we are in the league and where other teams are too. If you're looking forward to it and you did enjoy this episode, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of Liam Thomas. Does he just go into hiding on deadline day? Should be a spy, no one can find him. If you want to find out if we get any better luck as the loan window opens, or if any jobs pop up during the season, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. The second coaching badge is almost complete. And that, fingers crossed, will be the turning point. Maybe we can get out of Wales. Let me know if you think we will. Before we find that out though, we'll be back tomorrow morning with our Build a Nation Lifting Spirits. You can find that playlist in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel for regular live streams and the new food video too. That video from my food channel is above my head now. Please do check it out and subscribe if you haven't already. And hopefully I'll see you back here, same time tomorrow, for a solid season with Airbus in the league.